what kind of walkie-talkie slash two-way radio can you buy and give to your kids to play outside? Guys, welcome back to my channel. Maybe you can see this, we have springtime, really great weather outside, and that's why today I'm going to review these children walkie-talkies slash radios from Retevis, the RT388, that looks surprisingly similar to another brand that I saw online. I think it's called Upgrow walkie-talkies. So if you're looking for the Upgrow walkie-talkies and you come across my video of the Retevis RT388, then actually I think they may be produced by the kind of same manufacturer, just under different brand names. So you might want to keep that in mind. Guys, before I start with unboxing these walkie-talkies, if you're new to my channel, right now we're in the introductory part. Next up I'm going to do the unboxing, show you a few close-up shots, put in the batteries, show you the menu, what kind of settings you can pick, and then most interestingly in part 3, where you can always use the navigation in the video description, I'm going to do a range test, go a little bit further away, and you can see the sound quality. And then in part 4 I summarize everything one more time, so that way my videos always have a similar structure and you know what to expect. Guys, also make sure this is a 8-channel yellow, so 8-channel you can already see this is a European version. I think it's not printed on the package, but in Europe we have something that's called PMR446. So if you're located in the United States, please make sure to look for, maybe do a search for FMRS or GMRS if you're not familiar yet with this. Please don't buy a radio that's not made for your geographical area, because that might be able to land you in trouble if you're transmitting on the wrong frequencies with a wrong output power, specifically one that's too high. The authorities may not like that. And actually I've seen that sometimes, that it says, oh, walkie-talkie, and then it has like 10 watts output power or something really crazy. So please watch out for that. But as long as you pay a little bit attention, it should be no problem. And that is what these videos are for, guys. So without further ado, I also invite you to head over to my channel page, because there I have a lot of other different reviews. I show this to you here real quick. Just look in the radio section and you can do a little bit of a comparison, because sometimes these more budget-friendly radios, while they all tend to have the same output power of 0.5 watts, at least in the case of Europe, of the PMR446, if you get more expensive ones, let's say the Motorola's or other brands that are more expensive, the components tend to be a little bit better. The internals, the microphone, the speaker. So even though they have the same output power, in theory they should have all the same range. Still, there can be some variance, and especially I found the clarity of the signal tends to be better with the more expensive models, so to say. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of to expect. So that's why I invite you to do a little bit of comparisons, so you get a good feel before you make a purchase. Guys, before I digress any further, I'm awesome you're here. Let's get rolling with the unboxing and then do the range test. Let's get started. Now guys, we can finally have a closer look at the Retevis RT388. And like I told you in the introductory part, they look surprisingly similar to another brand I saw online. I think it was called Upgrow walkie-talkies. So I wouldn't be surprised if they come out of the same factory and are just sold under different brand names. So you might want to keep that in mind, that sometimes the name doesn't mean it's a different radio. Like I told you, available in different colors, black, blue, all sorts of colors. I have the yellow ones, and yeah, basically there are a lot of these budget radios on the market. If you look online, you find tons of those. Those seem to be looking quite decent for the price. So let's take off the belt clip, put in some batteries. There goes the belt clip. And batteries, we need probably, I guess, the AAA. And yes, you can see it here, it's the AAA, and you need 4 of them. So let's put in batteries. Any brand will do, as long as it's the right size. Personally, I use those a lot from the grocery store, or if you're planning to use the radios a lot and you always want to have a fresh charge, you might also want to look at some Panasonic end loops maybe. Again, any brand will do, but you need the AAA, and personally I like those because you can recharge them all the time. You always start with a fresh charge and it's kind to the environment. So I will link that below as well. But for the moment, I still have those one-time use batteries and I'm still going to make them empty. So let's put those in. And once you put in the last battery, the radio is already switched on. Cover, put in place. And then one thing I really noticed what's kind of different with those, usually the push to talk button is on the side. Here the push to talk button is on the front. So I have to push here to transmit, which is kind of unusual. I rarely see that. Kind of interesting design. And then to change the volume, you just use these up and down buttons. I hope this shows, guys. Sometimes if I get too close to the camera, it's getting out of focus. So changing the volume. If you want to change the channel, you just go to menu, and then the channel will flash. You see blue backlight display. Not very strong, by the way. Some other radios have a stronger backlight. And you have the European 8 channels. So PMR in Europe mostly 8 channels. Some radios have 16 channels, such as the Blue Motorola. I can show this to you here. The Blue Motorola that I reviewed recently, they had 16 channels. But when you took them out of the package, they only had 8. So you had to push some key combination to unlock it, which you can see in the Motorola review video. But in any case, those have 8, and a quick look at the menu also reveals that it's truly PMR446 with 0.5 watt output power. So that's something you want to keep in mind, the output power as well as the correct channels. So please, if you're in Europe, don't buy a US radio, because if you buy the US radio, the FMRs or GMRs, you will transmit on the wrong frequencies. So since those are the correct ones, not sure. I think this is basically all I'm going to show you right now. I think they're the CSS and DCTS. I mean the digital coded squelch. I guess if you go in the menu a little bit deeper, you might be able to turn that on. Okay, you push the menu button twice and then you can select the CCTS. Guys, I hope I pronounce this right. This radio doesn't seem to have the digital coded squelch, but I think for the normal user, you just keep it on off and that should be fine. Basically, if you use the CCTS, then the radio won't open up if someone else transmits on the same channel. So that's optional. So if you have different radios, you have to make sure, if you decide to use the CCTS, that they're on the exact same setting. So I have turned it off so I hear any radio that transmits on channel 8, and that will be fine. Did I demonstrate the flashlight feature before? So flashlight feature, but that's also pretty common. Guys, this concludes the unboxing. Without further ado, I'm really excited to go outside. We have awesome weather and I really like to take a walk, so I can combine taking a walk with doing the range test for these radios. So let's get rolling. Let's see what kind of performance we get.
Range test guys of the yellow Retevis RT388 Walkie Talkies / two-way radios. And like I told you, sound quality should be good. Test point number 1 with 420 feet. Let's see how these budget radios perform. Test point number 1. Range test guys of these Retevis RT Walkie Talkies. Test point number 2 is approximately 790 feet. Kind of modest range of these PMR radios. Let's see how the sound quality is the further I go away. Test point number 2 is 790 feet. And by the way, you should also see the metric system in the side card. Range test guys. This time test point number 3. Really awesome spring day. Really terrific weather today. Lots of sunshine. I'm really enjoying this a lot. Test point number 3 with 1,250 feet. 1,250 feet at test point number 3. Range test guys of the RT388 Walkie Talkies. Really awesome sun day with a lot of sunshine. Really has gotten really warm outside. Test point number 4 with 1,540 feet approximately. Test point number 4 with 1,540 feet. Let's see how the sound quality performs the further I go away. Test point number 4. Range test guys, and I'm really enjoying walking outside here. It's like really much nicer than just doing product reviews inside. So test point number 5 with approximately 2,000 feet, test point number 5 with approximately 2,000 feet of distance, and you should also see the metric value of 620 meters approximately in the side card. Range test of the Retevis radios right now at test point number 6 with approximately 2,300 feet of the yellow Retevis radios. Sounds good. Sometimes the budget wants to deteriorate a little bit, so I'm going to go a little bit further. Test point number 6, 2,300 feet. Range test guys of the yellow Retevis radios. Test point number 7 with about half a mile or 2,600 feet. And last time some of the budget radios already weren't audible anymore, so let's see whether they still perform. Test point number 7 with 2,600 feet. Range test guys at test point number 8 with now 3,200 feet or approximately 0.6 miles, I believe. And guys, really awesome weather. I'm kind of curious how the sound quality is. Not sure how far I should go, but let's test this a little bit and then see the recorded footage. Awesome to be outside, guys. Test point number 8 with 3,200 feet. Range test. Last range test point of the Retevis RT388 radio. Test point number 9 with 3,900 feet, I believe 3,900 feet, or approximately 3/4 of a mile. And yeah, if you still hear that, then it's a pretty decent performance for these low-powered PMR Walkie Talkies, guys. So this concludes the range test. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome guys. Thanks for tuning in. This kind of concludes the range test of the Retevis RT388 Walkie Talkies that seems to be well suited for children. And when I just looked at the footage that I recorded while doing the range test, the sound quality was really good. I was surprised, and because there were 2 other radios, budget radios that I tested just recently that had a really performance that's a little bit that was significantly worse. So these Retevis performed pretty nicely. Obviously, it's no match for like a high-end Motorola that costs multiple times that much. Usually the Motorola's, they come with a lot of accessories. But guys, I really invite you to head over to my channel page. I can show this to you here and look in the radio section. There I have a lot of comparisons for radios, maybe a radio for water sports, a radio for children, maybe a radio if you're into soft air. So the manufacturers have created a lot of different variations. So that's why people watch my channel and look at these comparisons. And quick disclaimer, while yes, those are PMR radios, but keep in mind they all have 0.5 watts output power, and because of that, the range really depends a lot on your environmental conditions. So think, for example, someone uses this while hiking and there are a lot of open pastures. They usually tend to get a fairly large range as compared to someone who's somewhere in the city center with a lot of concrete buildings. Then your range will be significantly reduced simply because the output power as mandated by law is only 0.5 watts. So take my range test with a grain of salt. I always walk the exact same path. So at least when you're comparing my videos, you get some idea. But even the manufacturers, I think, kind of struggle. I mean, sometimes you see the manufacturer writes 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. They just write some range. But personally, if you ask me my opinion, the majority of the time, I mean, or all the time, I think you only get that kind of range that's stated on the package if you have ideal circumstances. That's why it's often written like 5 kilometers star. And then you have to turn it around and read in the fine print, oh, depends on blah, blah, blah. So I just explained to you why that is, just in case you're new to walkie-talkies and two-way radios. Guys, awesome for tuning in. I'm sure you can find a great radio for your personal need. Have fun with your new radios. I see you as a subscriber in the next video. All the best to you guys. Take care. And because you just watched the review of the yellow Retevis RT388 radios, You might also be interested in comparing them against, for example, these blue Motorola's, because on my channel page in the radio section you can find a variety of comparisons of different manufacturers. Awesome for tuning in. I see you as a subscriber, and in the next video, have fun with your new radios if you decide to buy one. Take care.